guys, what's up? Talking about The Fifth Wave by a Mr. Yancey. This book was phenomenal. I highly recommend it for anyone who likes sci-fi, anyone in general. During this book we follow a girl named Cassie, short for Cassiopeia. She's just living her normal teenage life when all of a sudden an alien mothership parks above Earth with its only purpose to eradicate the human race. How epic. And these aliens, they're smart. They attack in waves. Not waves like ocean waves, but waves meaning that they attack all at once and then stop for a bit, and then all at once with a different thing and then stop, and then all at once with another different thing and then stop. This book was so amazing. I loved Rick Yancey's writing style because he has a way of making you feel like you're actually in the book, and all the feelings that the characters start to feel are what you feel while you're reading. I just said feel like 15 times. The sequel is coming out in September, I think, and I'm definitely going to pick it up, as well as the third book in this trilogy when it comes out. Go read it because this is the end of the spoiler section, and I'll see you guys back soon when you've finished reading and come back to discuss The Fifth Wave with me. Bye, non-spoiler people! Okay, ignore the hair. I don't really know what's going on. First off, I just want to say that I love Cassie as a character. I think she's very strong mentally and emotionally. I mean, think about it. You think you're the last person on Earth. Everyone you know and have ever known is dead, and yet you're still going and you're still going on to survive. I would have been one of the people to off themselves as soon as the alien mothership arrived. Just going on like that just takes immense courage, and that's something I really value in a character. And she's also very perceptive, and that's something I love reading about protagonists. Like how she noticed that Evan's hands should be calloused after years of farm work and they're like as soft as a baby's bottom, or whatever she says to describe it. I love characters like that. Not only did I love her as a character, but I love her as a narrator as well. The book is told from a couple different points of views, but Cassie is like the most interesting one, I think, because she's very sarcastic, which we all love our witty, sarcastic main characters. And it's also that stream of consciousness writing where you feel like you're actually experiencing everything along with the protagonist. My biggest problem with this book was the changing points of views. Oh my god, I could not wrap my head around anything. It made it so difficult to read for me. I mean, we start off with Cassie in the woods, and then 2 minutes later she's bleeding to death under a car, and then we get to the sniper's point of view, and then we're with Sammy in Wonderland, and then there's Zombie, and I completely was lost for a lot of it. I had a couple people help me out with it because my head just wasn't wrapping around it. Like, I need a plot to be clear, and if there's just any confusion, I get so lost and I don't know what to do. Because especially none of the points of views were labeled. It wasn't like it said Cassie or it said Ben. Like, it just said it and you had to kind of figure out who was talking. There were so many times when I thought Ben was Cassie, and why was Cassie here? She was with Evan 10 seconds ago, and eventually I got the hang of it. I kind of figured, okay, well, this person is here and I know that, so they're probably talking right now. And this came after that, and that after, it was just, I don't know. I don't like books that are very confusing like that, but I still definitely loved The Fifth Wave. To be honest, I think reading about the actual waves were the most interesting part of the book. You know, the first 4 waves were, the first one was the electromagnetic impulse that killed all things electric and battery operated, which, come on, in this day and time, we would just be completely lost. The second was the literal wave, which I found very funny that they're called waves, and like it was just an actual like tsunami, and that knocked out everything on the coastline. The third one was the disease that was the blood plague, the red tsunami, the fourth horseman, I think, that had like a bunch of different names that wiped out like 90% of the Earth's population. And then the fourth one I had the most trouble understanding, but from what I gathered, it was like in like 1995, I think, the aliens were there and they like implanted little alien baby things in people, and then like they suddenly hit a switch and I guess every alien in a person woke up and just started killing people. I think that's what it is. I'm not really sure. If you want to explain it to me down below, please do, because I'm just, this book was very confusing for me. And then the fifth wave was the child soldiers that were tricked and trained. And then the fifth wave was the child soldiers that were trained and tricked into killing humans when they thought they were killing aliens. I'm gonna get to the whole fifth wave thing later. There is still a part of me that definitely wanted just a journal kind of thing of the waves as they were happening, as opposed to just hearing about them quickly. But we did get a very in-depth idea of what was happening in that time. You know, I think like the first 100 pages or so were pretty much just about the waves and stuff, and I really liked that, because a lot of times, especially with dystopians, and especially in the first book of a series, we kind of get a general idea, but we don't really get all of the details and like what happened exactly when that was going on. So I really definitely appreciate that bit of it. Now let's talk about Evan Walker. I love Evan Walker. There were so many things about him that just made my heart melt. Like how he stands outside of the door all the time, like regardless, and how he takes her in and takes care of her and reads her journal and makes her a hamburger because he knows that she wanted it, and Bae, he's literal Bae. Insta love bit of it kind bugged me though. I mean, like, come on, dude. It's been about 3 weeks since you actually met her and she was asleep for like one of it. But it is interesting to have that insta love kind of thing not from the protagonist's point of view, because usually when it's love at first sight, it's from the protagonist first person view, and it was very interesting to see Cassie kind of like, this is weird. I think she definitely likes him and thinks he's attractive. I'm not sure if she actually loves him yet, but that's something I really want to explore in the second book. Now, Evan was getting sketchier and sketchier as the book was coming to a close. Like, I picked up on things like when he burned, you could have just burned down the barn, and he's like, we're not coming back. Like, why are you not coming back? Like, do you not expect to live through this, or are you not coming back for a reason? And I definitely thought he was the silencer when, you know, she first woke up in his bed. Like I said, Rick Yancey's writing style has the ability to kind of make you feel what the characters are feeling, and when Cassie was getting panicked and getting freaked out and noticing everything, like, I was feeling that too. So when she was kind of like consumed by this fact that like Evan's taking care of her and very comfortable, like, I was very comfortable with Evan, and that's why I kind of forgot about the fact that, you know, I thought he was the silencer, but I wasn't surprised when we found out that he actually was a silencer. I definitely think he's returning for the second book and the last book. He is way too big of a character to just drop out of nowhere and disappear. First off, characters don't die like that. You don't leave a character's story just open-ended like that. Like, that doesn't happen. It's not good writing. It's not a good choice. And second, Rick Yancey won't comment on if he's coming back or not. So obviously he's just trying to build hype about it, and Evan's coming back. He's back, baby. I was kind of very uninterested in all the Camp Haven bits. I just wanted to read about Cassie and Evan. I didn't really care for Zombie and Nugget, but I knew Nugget was Sammy, so when he came, it was a little bit more interesting. I knew right away that the people at Camp Haven were others. Like, come on, it's right there in the book. They picked up Sammy, and then they killed everyone at Camp Ashpit, and then Sammy ends up in Camp Haven. They're obviously the others. Why would you forget that? Why would you even second guess that? It's so obvious. One part I really did like at Camp Haven was when Ringer was helping Zombie shoot, and like he picked her up and twirled her or something, and she was just like, that was uncalled for, do it again. And then he's just like, which one? And then she's like, the one that's more important. And I was just like, sigh. Ship, ship, ship. I ship them so hard. Ringer and Zombie for life. Now, like I said, I was very confused, especially when Zombie's point of view was introduced. I did get spoiled for this. I spoiled it myself. I made someone tell me. I made Ray from Ray of Sunshine Books tell me who it was, because I couldn't figure it out, and I was thinking it was Sammy, and I knew it wasn't Cassie, and I didn't think it was Evan, and I needed to know, and it was getting so hard for me to read. And I think it's okay if you spoil yourself when you really, really need to know something to help you read. So I made her tell me. She was very reluctant at first, so good on her. I have to admit it was very surprising, but I'm very, very indifferent towards Ben. I didn't really want him to become a big part of the story. What I wanted Cassie to be like, oh, I'm so in love with Ben Parrish, me, and then Evan come along and she's just like, whoa, Evan Walker, and forget all about him. I kind of just wanted him to be that high school crush that was a part of her old life that she doesn't have anymore. I don't know how I feel about him being in the second one, because I really didn't like reading about him, and I hope it's just from Cassie's point of view, because I know it's not gonna happen, but Ben Parrish, just leave the series, please. I don't really know how I felt about the Ben and Cassie reunion. I really don't know how I feel about him, but I definitely didn't like the fact that he didn't recognize her at all. He was just like, who is this? And when she brought up the fact that, like, she sat behind him in chemistry, and he was just like, what? Like, I got really pissed off about that. But I did like the fact that Cassie wasn't like, oh my god, it's Ben Parrish. She was just like laughing, like, really, like, out of all the people left in the world, this is Ben Parrish left here with me. Like, what? I definitely appreciated that, because now I know that she doesn't like him as much as she used to, and happiness. And she didn't treat him like the god that she described him as in the beginning. Like, that whole time was just about getting out and getting Sammy out, and it didn't really matter who they were before, and that's something that I really liked. I'm not excited about reading about Ben in the second book. Like I said, I'm really indifferent to him. I don't like him as a main character, and I don't want to see Cassie pining after Ben in the second one. I'm so terrified that that's what's gonna happen, and I don't want it, because she's so strong, she's so different from when the first alien apocalypse hit, and I don't want them together at all. I kind of feel weird about the whole we're the fifth wave thing. Like, I have no words for the fact that the aliens just tricked a bunch of kids into thinking that humans were aliens and that's who they were killing. It is just so ridiculous to me that they could do that. But it's very interesting how they did the whole brain implant thingy in Wonderland, and so that they really do think that they're aliens. But still, I was expecting like total intergalactic war, and all I got were misled child soldiers. Like, what? I don't know. All the other waves seemed like really epic, and this one is just like they were confused. Like, that was it. I'm probably missing something really important, but whatever. All in all, I definitely loved this book. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, which it totally deserved. The only problem I really had with it was that I couldn't understand who was changing point of views, but I think that was more on my part rather than the writers. It's just something I'm more prepared for when the second book comes out. I loved all the characters except for Ben, and I loved the plot, and I'm so excited to see where they take it from now, and I cannot wait for the second one. I'm so glad I picked it up and I don't have to wait too long for the second one, and I'm definitely excited for the movie. I think the cast is great, and I think it is definitely going to be well adapted into a movie, and they can do so much with it, and it's just so exciting. I think that's really all I have to say about this book. I loved this book. Share your thoughts with the fifth wave with me and what you think will happen. I don't really have any big predictions about it, but if you have any, please let me know and maybe you'll change my mind. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Bye!